Hi everyone, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Got a big day planned today. Thanks Michelle, I'm glad that you were able to leave your gin and tonic, or maybe you didn't. Bit early in the morning for me for that. What is it, 8 a.m. Oh, welcome everyone, I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to be doing some faux hot foiling. So I had a request last week, thank you very much, to try and recreate some cards that, because not everyone wants to join the sort of hot foil bandwagon, and I totally get that, because it's another machine, it's another whole realm of supplies, and you can get similar looks with other products without all the other stuff. So I thought I'd venture into that today. But also because like the summit is happening this week, I so totally mucked that up. Did you get my email? I didn't mean to try and post a live on the party night of the summit, like the opening night. That would have been a bit silly, but so that's why we're here a day early. So I'm sorry if that confuses anybody as well. So I have got a lot to do today because there's a few things I want to try. So we will get started pretty quickly. I have some foiling cards here. Let me just straighten this up. You didn't bring your gin in. So the request was to try and get that foiled look, and I have been doing a lot of foiling lately. I am really excited about foiling and where it's gone in the card making world, and especially since hot foiling has come in to play as well. But it is a bit finicky, more so than toner. But these are all cards that I did with hot foiling that I thought could be a little bit inspiring to make into similar cards without the hot foiling side of things. I'm so glad you're all here. Welcome. I was going to sort of start with this one here, which was an Altenew card that I made with these really fine line foils. And I'm not going to recreate this card, but I was just going to give you an idea of how I think it could be done. And I've got these circle dies from Alan Hudson, and they actually cut a fine border when you cut them out. So you could simply just use some metallic cardstock to recreate that look and do some circles and just build them out from there, because this actually has two sets of dies in it, like with all the different layering circles. But I was thinking about it, here I am lying in bed last night thinking how I can do these cards. I think about you guys all the time. But it was, if you really want that fine look, I'd be going for a embossing with gold ink on dark cardstock and a circle die. So I thought you could actually still get that look using a normal die. It won't be as bold as these fine lines, but anyway. But you could still do it. But we're not going to head there today. That's a card that, you know, like if I had time, maybe we could. But that was just an idea to share. This is the card we're going to try and reproduce today. It's using Pink Fresh hot foil plate. I also was inspired by this card here, and I have a few ideas on how to get, because this is actually hot foiled on the acetate. Can you see that? And then I've blended the flower beneath that, and then I actually popped up the front of the card. But if we get time, I was going to try and walk you through how I would think that could be recreated with a die like this. And probably the easiest way to do this would be to die cut some metallic cardstock, and then attach it to the front of the acetate, and then build the colour underneath, either by blending or even recreating the pattern underneath and using it with coloured cardstock. But you know, like, there's so many ideas. This was such a great suggestion, and I thought I'm really going to have to try and stick to one idea, and then if I have time I'll try and play with the others, but I thought I'd just walk you through them first. There's a few different ways that you can get the metallic look. Obviously metallic cardstock is one of them. I'm not going to use any laminator or foil press, any machinery today, other than like a normal die cutting machine. Another way that you can get the metallic look is by using something like a toner foil, because you can use this without a machine as well. So I'm going to try and do that today. And also another thing I thought of was the metallic pens. You could always draw with like a gel pen, but I don't know if you guys are like me, I do have a love-hate relationship with those. Some people tell me it might be due to the weather. I'm blaming the weather. And it's cold here today. Well, not as cold as it has been, but it is cold for us. And other than the heat, the other way that I already mentioned with the navy blue and the gold ink and impressing with your die, that's the other way I think you can get the look. But for this one here, this is what we're going to recreate. Let's see how we go. Or something similar. As you know me, I don't like to make the same card twice. One way you could do that, I was thinking, is to die cut some metallic foil and then create your own stripes. So if you've got a die like these strips dies from Allen Hudson, you can actually die cut your own metallic foils. There's some really beautiful ones on the market at the moment. You can get coloured metallic foils. And also I'm going to be using one from Altenew today. It's one of their new brush foils, which are really pretty. And you can actually just cut strips with your paper trimmer as well. You don't need to have a die to do this, but if you want it to be nice and even, that's how I would do it. But there are measurements on your die cutting machines. But I found this die, which I thought was perfect. So I'm actually going to be using this die, and this is you might have seen me use this one already, but this is the brushed rose. I am addicted to this. It's such a pretty metallic foil. I think they've got something like 4 colours altogether. Are they colours? Yeah, they are, aren't they? I'm just going to run this through the Gemini. If you do have any questions, can you write them in the comments below or write them in capitals? And if Michelle, if I miss any, would you mind sharing them with me, please? Now, there's a few different ways that you could adhere. I thought I'd go with some cards. I like some A4 adhesive sheets. So I've been using these ones from Altenew, but there are lots of different brands, and basically they're just double-sided tape. And I've got a piece of cardstock here. Oh, everyone's here. So cool. Is everyone excited about the summit? I am so excited. It starts tomorrow. I just cut my nails, and I can't craft without any nails. So basically I'm just making a big sticker here. You can use, oh, thank you, Tracy. Yes, thumbs up really do help. If you want to share the live, that would be nice too. Then some other people might think to join us. So what I'm going to do is just, I'm only, for the background bit, I'm just going to be using the actual outline portion. So where did I put that sticker? Just there. What I wanted to do was try and get that real sort of flush look that you can get with, I'm just making a real big mess. I should take a photo of my desk after I finish the live. You guys would freak. I just get stuff everywhere. The thing with hot foil is you get that really nice sort of flush finish, and this is how I thought I'd recreate that using the cardstock here. Oh man, I've pushed it. I knew that would happen. I have already die cut it from some white cardstock. And I'm just going to try and line it up and see if I can do the cheats way. For some of it anyway. It's probably just going to be easier to inlay it, isn't it? So how is everyone? Is everyone well? I hope so. Now, and this is why I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to make multiple cards today. Not when I'm doing this technique. It's going to take a little bit of finicky time. But now that's why that's not working, isn't it? Oh. Random. So I'm really enjoying the falls so much that that's what my actual presentation is over at the summit. It's actually about foiling. You know, I shouldn't have pushed the other one down, should I? We'll get there. I doubt it. Oh, you know what? Kind of squished it out, haven't I? I've been watching some of the Kathy Zilski. Have you seen her videos? She's such a creative lady and an inspiration. Totally makes me laugh too. I was thinking right then, I watched her the other day and she had to restart a whole card, and I'm thinking right now, I might have to restart this card. Because I have totally mussed this up. Haven't I? I shouldn't have dropped that before. Because I think that goes there. That makes me happier. No. So that's what I was saying. At the summit, my card is about foiling. But I do all different kinds of foiling. This is hilarious. Are we having fun yet? Oh dear. Ah, here we go. She's on a roll now. I got one in. Are you proud of me? I am going to be editing this video and sharing that version of people, because I know that time is precious and I really appreciate you taking the time to spend with me here. So I figure if I've been doing the editing so that if people are a bit time constrained, then they can still watch the highlights of the videos as well. I wish I hadn't knocked them out. I had them in place. I got so excited. We do, don't we, Tracy? your I find it really weird that these die cuts look, that's where I went wrong initially. You'd think they'd be the same size at each end, wouldn't you? But they're slightly different. I think I must have had this one upside down. Now we're on a roll. Thank you, Helen. I think that's where my real problem lay. I was planning on cutting this down. We might not even get that far. I'm going to flip that round. I reckon I'll be right now. Because I just assumed this was the same both ways. Never assume. Yeah, look. Going great guns. A couple. See how I budged that one over? I like it that this adhesive is a little bit forgiving too. Well, we'll see. It might not be now that I've just said that. I did push this down pretty hard initially and I shouldn't have. Right. Can anyone think of any other ways that we could get that faux kind of hot foil look? They're the main ways. The main ways that I was thinking was the ones that I've mentioned already. Whoops. That's better. Thanks, Bev. I'm nearly there. I've nearly done one. That's what I said. I had all these ideas. I think this is going to be like a 40-part week series. We get a half a card done in a session. Oh, Tracy, you haven't missed much. I had my die upside down. So was my die cut upside down. And it took me like half of the inlay die cut to work that out. And you're all probably sitting there saying, you've got it the wrong way. But I'm good now. I'm good. All right, did I miss any? Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Oh, that one's dodge. Now, I could run this through my die cutting machine just to like press everything in there. But I don't think I'm going to go there. This was one that was sticking up that I fought with before. Let me just get that looking a bit nicer. Actually, you're probably not going to see it because I've got to put a big flower over the top. So, and if you had the patience, this could actually be a twofer because now I have like the opposite. So I could actually do a white thing with the inlay of the white die cut cover die, which was called Candy Cane Stripe, with an inlay of the brushed gold rose gold cardstock. Yeah, I think that will help. So let me just cut that down. We're done. Oh, thank you for your support, guys. Then because I hoped to get, because I haven't been doing any finished cards in my lives recently, because I've just been doing more technique kind of lives. I don't know what I'd like to know what you prefer. Do you prefer sort of to see a finished card project in the live, or are you happy to kind of just see techniques and then have a look at the finished cards after? Let me know. If you let me know you can either let me know in the chat or in the comments below, and then I can actually check that out. And this is actually excuse me, I'm going to knock my inks down. I request this video, so if you do have any requests, I truly appreciate it, because I kind of have a little bit of stuff around me, and it's nice to be inspired and know what other people want to see. And this is going to be cut down a little bit. Just take a bit off the end of that. It's going to be easier to do that before. So for the sentiment on this card, because the actual sentiment I did on the other card was a hot foiled sentiment as well. So I thought it'd be good to try and recreate something. But this time I'm going to be doing heat embossing. So on this one you can see I've done like a hot foiled sentiment on the hot foiled background. So we've created the background. Now to do the sentiment, I've got, it's from the Casual Greetings stamp set from Alan Hudson. This one was designed by Julie Ebersole, and she's one of the presenters at the summit, so I always love everything she makes. She's one of those clean and simple crafters that just nails it every time. I haven't looked at her class yet to see what she did. I know last time it was, I was a bit surprised actually. She was doing SVG files and cutting on a Cricut, which was great, because that's, I've got one of those and like to play with it. So I'm pretty excited to see what she's got this time. Now I've got this embossing folder. Every time I get this brush rose cardstock out, I get this golden peach. How pretty is that? So it's not going to look the same as the hot foil, because it's not going to have that nice sort of flush look with the card, but it's still going to have the shimmer and the shine of that metallic kind of look. It's nice and warm. It's like they were made to go together. Oh no, I don't know what I did there. So these dies I find a little bit difficult to line up on the cardstock. So I actually have like one that I've cut out before, and then I can just line it up over top, hold it in place, hold this piece of scrap cardstock in place, and then I can sit my die, hold that in place with some more tape, because tape's my friend here, before I run it through my die cutting machine. I shouted myself some new plates I warped my plastic shim. And my dyes were shifting, and it's so nice to have straight plates. I did straighten my other plates out too. I think I told you that last time, and that's really helping. All that tape. It's made to go together, don't you think? It's such a pretty combination. Right. So I did already do a little bit of die cutting. So hopefully these colours go well. They're from, I initially had one of those was it Floral Fantasy, I think it was. This time I thought I'd go for the layered wood flower die set, and I've die cut some of the gel printing soft washes. So lots of Ultimate products in this card. What will I do? I'm having a moment. Do I do double-sided tape or Does anyone else not like to get adhesive on their mats? I end up with it on my card, so if I work on a bit of scrap paper underneath it, I don't end up with that problem. Man, I got to do another live on Friday, but I'll be at the summit doing that one on the Facebook page. But if you're at the live, well, if you're at the, because how does it work? Let me think. So if you're doing the free version of the summit, then you can watch the video when the time is live. And for me, actually, I'm going live, my class is going live on the 28th, so it's the first day of the summit at 5 p.m. So then I'll be at that class in the chat box, and I'll also be at the Facebook page at the end of the class for a chat. So if you're there, say g'day. Let me think. I probably should have the picture in front of me. Do you reckon I'll be able to work it out? I do like these Ultra New layering die cut flowers. Now, it's on the picture, isn't it? Which way to go? I think it's this one. I normally do like really green leaves, so I thought it'd be nice to do something that's a bit different. This is one of my favourite card making colours, this teal colour. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to die cut the centre of the flower. But I can quickly do that. How are we going for time? I've nearly got a whole card made today. Pretty proud of myself. Yeah. I'm all fumble fingers because it's cold. Oh, that bit will be under the flower anyway, so. Oh, cool. I hope to see you there. I did put the link down below. You still can get the, oh, that doesn't look right. Let's follow the pattern. That looks better. Yeah. Because you can still get the free version. Also, the all access pass. It was a real bargain this time. It was, I if you did that fast action pass. All right, we do need the centre of the flower to raise. I got distracted. My husband distracted me. I'll blame him. Gotta blame someone. Blame myself. I'm such a Gemini, I'm easily distracted. Oh, hi from Brisbane, Karen. Welcome. Just up the road. What do you reckon? Needs to be something. Let's go for those ones. Dark and lighter. I like this paper. I actually forgot to link this paper. But I like it because it means I don't have to wait for watercolour to dry. I wanted that watercolour-y look. That's a word, isn't it? Watercolour-y. No ham here. All right. Look. That's my pokey tool. That's it. Righto. See how I go with this little bit. I'm thinking maybe some liquid glue for this one. Did you see what I just did then? Right, because I want to make a second version of this card today if possible, or at least get it started to give you an idea. So I'm nearly there. How easy is that flower? It's literally just two pieces and then the centre, when you remember to get the centre, obviously. Okay, let's pop this thing up. Because I do like dimension. Oops. And there. Should have looked where I want it roughly. What I might do is add a little bit of something stronger behind these guys. So I do find this Be Creative or the score tape is nice and strong. And this cardstock has a bit of, not shine, I don't know if you'd call it shine, but it's a little bit, go that way maybe. So I'm covering up some of those little oopsies I made underneath when I had my moment. Right. I think those colours are working okay here. Right, pop this up. Now I've still got one more card I'm going to try. We're talking about faux hot foiling today. I'm trying to get the hot foil look or recreate a hot foil card using regular supplies, non-hot foil supplies. So it's going to have to go there, isn't it? Not my best layout, is it? Oops, stick. That one didn't really want to stick, did it? How not to make cards today. Do you think that's going to be better? It's the same. And yeah, that's a good idea, silicone mats. I've got one that I use, but I mostly get it out when I'm doing blending or watercolor techniques, or any of those really inky things. I think that's a bit better. I don't know. I think I'll have to come in and glue that down, that one. Right, so did we get there with that one? Do you reckon? It's kind of similar. You get that flush look because we've done the inlay die cutting, which is what you have there. And then the sentiment, we kind of got the look, but by using heat embossing. The other way I thought we could do it is, I'm going to need a piece of cardstock. I'll give this a try, just for fun. Because we're going so well today, we might as well keep going. And what I might do is actually try and recreate the acetate one myself. So for this one, done this before. And it's just, we're going to be using the toner foil instead this time. And if you were wanting to die cut strips, like say you don't have this, you have the sheets of cardstock, and might go for a thicker one there. That's fun. If you don't have the different sizes of tape like this, I would recommend just getting some of that foil, the adhesive sheets like I was using before on behind the other one that worked so well initially because I had it the wrong way. And you could just cut strips with that. If you really wanted to try and get that thin line between these, I would do that with a gel pen perhaps if you have luck with gel pens. Thank you. I think we're getting there. We had to struggle, but we're getting there. And if you don't have a straight eye, you know what I mean by that, don't you? You could use a ruler to put some tick marks, or use your grid mat if you've got one of those. I saw your butterflies, Michelle. It's so exciting. Congratulations. This is actually going to be more like the foiled look as well, because it's actually going to be using foil, and it will be a little bit more flush than the die cut version. But I'm hoping I'm giving you some ideas to get your supplies out and have a bit of fun with foiling, basically. The hardest thing for me about foiling is, other than everything today, is photographing it. It's a nightmare. But I think I'm getting better at it. Now you watch when I lift this up. This is going to be interesting. This is what I did before. I never explained what I was doing. The powder tool deactivates the adhesive, so when you're cutting away with your scissors, you don't end up having everything sticking to your scissors. And you probably already know that, but I use this tip all the time. I think I'll cut it first, and if they fall off I can re-stick them before I do the foiling. It is all in the angle of the photograph, and I find our light here is too bright sometimes, so all I end up with is reflection. So I'm finding I'm getting better pictures on a dull day. And I find that's really weird. I've never been able to get a lot of success with like light boxes and photographing inside at night. I know a lot of people have some really good setups and their photos look amazing, so I don't know what I just haven't ever been able to do that. I've had to rely on sunlight. All right. For this one, I thought I'd use like a flower from the Doodles set. I'm probably not going to have time to make that today, but I thought at least if I get this part done, I can finish the card and then share it at the blog. And I'll put the link for that in the description below. And if I can get this video edited down as well, so then I'll put what I've been doing is adding the photos in the edited down version of the video. And someone told me all these random little blades hanging around. Well, that didn't work. I just lifted up the paper. And what you can do afterwards is cut the panel down to whatever size that you want. You could do a bigger panel than you need and get like a couple of cards out of it maybe. Do like a border. I started watching Anne with an E and really enjoyed it, but then I just I haven't had time. I must go back and watch some more because it's just lovely. I agree, Michelle. It's beautiful. I remember reading the books as a child. Loved them. I do like reading. Okay, let's get to the fun bit. I'm gonna, whoopsie, add foil. Now, this is some Crafty Critta foil. I don't know if I put the link in the description below, but they have, I have a discount code for them to get 5% off. They are an Australian company, but they do ship overseas. Hot pink. Okay, let's do hot pink. I was thinking about doing, does anyone else have trouble with cat fur? Foil does not like dust and stuff. And with, yes, it's the opposite, isn't it? So it's, for hot foiling, do pretty to pretty. With toner foiling, and what's this one? F0014. And I highly recommend Crafty Critta's cardstock too for foiling. It's beautiful. So literally I've just laid that foil on top. I'm not using a laminator. This is where you find out where the cat fur is on your cardstock. Something under there. I'm just burnishing it in with my fingers. You can use a bone folder. Let's see how we go. See, like I said, you can see where all the little bits of dust are. It's okay. I'm going to put big flowers on here anyway. But, oh man, what did I do there? Not very well. More burnishing. The joy of life. That's better. It can keep coming back in. I could add a little bit more glue behind there. All around that one there. So I'm just getting those bits as best I can. You can run this through your die cutting machine, but not with the die, just with a little bit of shim to add some pressure. I do find that when I do that, though, it kind of squishes out the tape and you just lose your sharper edges. So I typically just use my finger. How's that? It's not too bad. That corner there. That's better. It's a pretty colour. I thought it was similar to the other colour, but I thought it would have been nice to have the pattern too, the Flower Power one. So you get that foiled look. It's a bit more flush than the other. If you laminated you can actually laminate a pattern. If you do it through the laminator and you have like foil art with the pattern, it will be a lot flusher than this. But you don't need to have a laminator. You can certainly get that foiled look without it. If you're going to the summit, I've got more tips and tricks. Actually, I've got a freebie on foiling too, so you can check that out. Right, so do you reckon we'll keep it all or cut it down? I was going to cut it down. I might keep it all on the whole card front. So that was that. The other thing I thought was, how do you try and get a foiled sentiment? There's a couple of ways I was thinking about doing it, and where did I put them? Here. So I was thinking I could cut a sentiment, you know, with the tape and then sit it down and then foil it that way. I thought probably an easier way to do it would be to so foil a piece of cardstock. That will do. I'll just show you what I mean. So just get like a scrap piece of cardstock. Oh, probably haven't even made that big enough now. Oh, that'll be all right. It's a really pretty colour. They've got like something like 80 colours of foil. That's the toner foil. And their hot foil is luscious. I know we're not talking about hot foil, but they've got something like 20 colours of that, which not many companies do. I think probably, maybe something like, you know, the bigger companies like Spellbinders might, but. So I'm literally just creating my own metallic cardstock here, or foiled metallic cardstock. Like I said, with my finger. I just thought it'd be really hard to actually if I did try the other version where I die cut some, like a word. I mean, I could just die cut a word out of this after, but like I said, I just prefer that. Sometimes I get that little bit squished through the die cutting machine, but that would be a good way of doing it too, so that you get the matching foils, because you're not going to have exactly the same coloured cardstock than the foils. You know, you can't typically buy cardstock the same colour that you can buy foils, but if you create your own, then it's, you know, it's going to match. I'll just run this through the die cutting machine. Any questions? I wonder if I've actually thought that this way it kind of gives you that flushy look, which is what I was trying to get. You know, with this one here and the hot foil, there's just no real way of doing that. What did I do with my pokey tool? I'm definitely going to take a photo of this desk. Oh, got it. Okay, now I'll just cut this down and then add a flower. Keep it all. I might have missed some of that conversation, did I? Nick, don't have a pencil anywhere. Don't want it sitting out over the edge. So kind of going to give us that blush look. Oh, there it is. I wouldn't normally do it. Get that all cleaned up. Do you find that? But you could do this with that Hugs die, like the other sentiment I was showing you. You could do a negative die cut and get the sentiment behind it and get that kind of flush look as well. So pop that on there. Well, we've got a couple more minutes. I could probably finish this card. Let me finish two. Why not? Look. Right, where's my floral boots? Has to be a big one, doesn't it? It'll need that. And leaf. Couple of leaves. We need a couple, won't we? Here we go. Did I miss a leaf? I did. Now, I'm just die cutting everything. Die cutting it all. Oh, here we go again. I touched something. That's what I did last time. It's on my mouse. Something I touched on my mouse which changes my screen. At least I noticed it early this time. Okay. Oh, there's a been. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Are you able to? I don't get them, guys. We did almost make it through. I think it's the same one. Okay. What are we thinking? Because I'm kind of wondering. I'm so glad you guys are here. Sort that out. This is such a pretty die set, this one. It's the, what's it called? The doodles, floral doodles. Maybe that's the word that brought them in. I think it needs, probably needs to be a colour, doesn't it? What do you reckon? Too much white. Do the outline in that one? What do you think? Let's do it. More ham sandwiches for lunch. I'll get them out while that's going through. So, it was much easier when they had the die cutting done before, wasn't it? It's been fun just testing out and seeing if I can try and get that look. Well, I like the challenge. That blue is going to be better. And this is typically what I do, just keep playing until I'm happy with the look. Yeah, and then I think it needs like a white leaf as well. I won't put you through the drama of me putting that all together. I'm sure you get the idea. But I'll finish that card off. I thought I'd be able to get it done, but alas, no. But this is our original card. I'll just take you through what we did here. So we're doing some faux hot foiling here. This is the original card with the foiling, with it nice and flush and shiny, and then the same with the sentiment. To try and get that, what I did with the first card was did some inlay die cutting and used some metallic cardstock and got that metallic look with the sentiment and some embossing powder. And then this next card, which I haven't finished yet, and I'm going to have to play. I'm not happy with that flower, obviously. But I think it needs to be more. I used the toner foil this time, which is just a beautiful hot pink colour. And it is the sentiment. I tried to get the flush look by doing a negative die cut sentiment here. So I will play around with my floral doodles and finish that card, take some photos, hopefully get the other card video edited and share it with you. I hope I've inspired you to get out your products and maybe try a little bit of foiling without a laminator, without a foil press, and just see what you can do. I have my class at the Summit. If you haven't joined already, the links are in the description below, and it is about foiling. It's a little bit more polished than today. And I do have a freebie there, so if you're joining me there, you'll be able to get the freebie and join my email list. But also I'll be at the chat on, now it's the 28th. I'm the last class of the day, I think. So you might need your coffee or your gin and tonic, Michelle. And which is Australian on the 29th, which is Friday morning at 7 a.m. And then I'll be in the Facebook Live group after. So if you've got any questions, if you did enjoy today's video, I really truly appreciate it if you do give it a thumbs up. And I do truly appreciate you spending your time here with me today. I know time is precious, and I do enjoy these lives and just sort of working through some problems and getting a card out. At least I got one full card made today, so that's wonderful. And I'm glad that you guys joined me here today. So I'll be back again. I plan on coming back on the 11th of August, so it's 2 weeks away on Thursday at the same time. I look forward to seeing you then. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.